Hello everyone, welcome back to the channel. I am mAdCapper and there's another video on Raid Shadow Legends, and it's time for another rant. First of all, mini rant. I love the Christmas. They didn't change anything from last year. Okay, we get it. Year one, ha ha ha. Elaine was eaten by the dragon. Why you gotta hate on Elaine? Pure sexism at its finest. The other three got roasted. Elfism. It's elfism is what it is. Well, I guess there's a dark elf. It's a light elfism. I don't know what it is. High elfism. I don't know. I just hashtag free Elaine. I think she deserves a little skate on the pond. That's all I'm saying. But today my rant has to do with the daily login rewards. For those of you who didn't notice, and many of you have, let's rewind it a bit. Let's talk about the daily login rewards once you hit the 271 plus. About 4 months ago, they made the decision to exchange 2 sacreds and a 5-star chicken. One sacred, 1 5-star chicken. Yeah, 1 sacred, 1 5-star chicken. The energy that's here used to be up here, right where Cleopatra says. There was a 5-star chicken here, and there was a sacred at the end of the month. Everyone enjoyed that sacred. It was a monthly free sacred. It was the potential to be anything. We get it. It was only a 6%, 12% on a 2 times chance to be anything, which, if you do the math, is really quite a small number. What are we talking, 1 in 9? Mathematicians, you can give the number in the comments down below. But it was still the potential. Until you open that sacred shard, it could be anything, except for, of course, Void. It could be anything you wanted, right? If you needed a Dracomorph, it could be a Dracomorph. Granted, chances are it wouldn't be, but that wasn't the point. They took it away. There was a big uproar. But the shining lining, the silver lining, the bright star, the lone star in this whole thing was, at least we got a Lego after 4 months. You see 15, 25, obviously, times 4, and we're about to hit that. Some of you may already be there or close. I'm not sure. I know that I obviously still have a week and a little bit to go, but some of you are much close. Well, a little bit closer anyway. I don't know the exact numbers. I feel like I was 2 days off the quickest, so maybe some of you are at this last run here until you get 15. Well, they've shown part of what's going to replace it, and frankly, it's more than a little bit concerning and or disappointing. I gotta scroll all the way down because, of course, I don't have any fragments of it. But as we keep going here, wow, there's a lot of these things. Scion, right there. This is the replacement. Now, you sold us on Legendary Champion replacing Sacred and Chicken. I do remember distinctly you mentioning way back then that it could also be epics. Now, we know that they're going to offer more fragments. I haven't seen... I was looking around to make sure I didn't miss it. I may have missed how many fragments. I think that 2 months would be reasonable. 3 months is probably what they're going to do, because of course they would. But if we get, 50 and 50 over 2 months to get this epic champion, maybe it'll be a little okay. But it's more than that. It's more than just the fact that now 2 sacreds and 2 chickens, if it's 2 months, which I believe it is, though I couldn't find the confirmation of that. So maybe I'm making it up in my head. But it's not just that you replaced 2 sacreds, which would have been guaranteed 2 epics or better, and 2 5-star chickens, though for me personally not a big deal. For many people is a big deal. I know my free-to-play account, I am just about at Vizix on my free-to-play account, which means I'm going to be on this 271 run. And for me, sacred shards are a holy grail. They help with tournament points. They help with, though not as well, with event points. Well, potentially better, I guess, depends on how you look at it. Right? Free resources I can get. CVC. Opening shards is a big deal in CVC now, especially if you were able to pull a brand new Lego. All that's gone, right? I don't get those extra ones. Plus the 5-star chickens. It is not easy to make food on a free-to-play account. Granted, a lot easier now than it was probably 2 years ago. There's a lot more resources for free. You do get a lot more chickens for free, but it's still a constraint that you've just taken away in favor of an epic. But what bothers me the most about this, I believe he's a demon spawn, right? What bothers me the most about this is if you're going to make a login champ and replace the potential whatever it could be, I just don't see this being the champ that I'm going to use in any way, shape, or form. So for the next 2 months, in my mind, it's a wasted 2 days. It's 2 days of garbage. You know, it doesn't seem like something that's going to be important to me. Enemies under block active skills, block buffs, heal reduction cannot decrease this champion's turn meter. So what? Where am I so concerned about reduction of his turn meter? I can't fathom. But also removes all debuffs from this champion, then attacks all enemies, and then puts the increased attack and increased damage on this champion for 1 turn after attacking. So basically, he attacks, then he buffs his attack. Then they go. They get to strip it, they get to freeze them, they get to, you know, root them, stun them, any sort of crowd control, and he loses the ability to use his buff. So it was a wasted turn again. It's just seems silly. It does attack all enemies. I don't know how hard he hits yet. He's got good speed, I will say that. His attack is pretty reasonable for an epic. So there's potential to make him hit hard depending on his multipliers, which I haven't looked at yet. I'm sure someone has it out there and is data mined it already. And then of course you have an attack 1 enemy with the block buffs, heal reduction, and then you have attack 1 enemy with the block active skills. 30% chance. It's a single hit, which is, like, again, not very good, not very strong. This here, not very good, not very strong. Block buffs is actually an underrated debuff in my opinion, but it's 2 turns on 1 person. Ignore shield buffs. I guess that's kind of a cool thing, but a single target, it just doesn't. This seems like an underwhelming champion to replace what we really want. So not only did you replace our login champion, our daily login rewards here, with a champion we may or may not want in Cleopatrix, but at least it's a guaranteed legendary in 4 months. It's a 1 in 4 instead of a 1 in 4 on the Sacreds, which is 25. You know, your chances are you're not getting a legendary out of that. Though again, the potential of a Sacred Shard unopened is infinitely better than any champion you could give, except for the champion that the person wants. And that's subjective, right? Because I, for example, would want a second Rhodos with that. That would be probably among my top picks. Maybe a couple of the ones that I might want to empower that are sitting at 2 or 3. I'm trying to think offhand who I want to empower. Maybe a second Duchess would be great. A third Kymar would be amazing. Those are kind of my wants. So if these were those champions, maybe you'd have me bought, but other people may not want that. Other people may be like, hey, I already have 5 Kymars. I don't need another Kymar. I need a Sishia, right? So the potential of that Sacred Shard is it can be anything. And these can only be Cleopatrix. And that was bad enough. But now you've gone and you've taken away the legendary. You've put it with an epic. The epic's going to be, like I said, unconfirmed. I couldn't find the confirmation. Although I swear I saw it somewhere. So I'm probably just missing it. It's been a long day. An epic champion that kind of has an almost cool kit, but not quite cool enough kit. So what is going on? Plarium, please stop feeding me shit and calling it gourmet. Because that's what it feels like is happening. You take stuff away that I didn't want taken away. You give me things that I didn't really want. And then you tell me it's good to eat it. And then you make it even worse. You didn't even season the shit this time. You didn't even sprinkle some salt and pepper. 101 of cooking. Always season your food. You didn't even season the poop that you fed me in place of my 5-star chicken and my Sacred Shard. And I feel like a little bit burnt out because of it. I feel like ripped off. And on top of it, let's not forget the most important thing about this little patch du jour. Still no Elhain. Hashtag free Elhain. Get on the train, get on the hype, talk to your local MLA or representative if you're in the States, or whatever, you know, oligarch if you're in Russia. I don't know who, president, you know, call Vladdy up. President Vladdy, don't be disrespectful. Call President Vladdy up and tell him that we need Elaine. Elaine deserves to skate again. That's all I'm going to say. Thank you. That's another rant for me. We'll see you again tomorrow.